I'm revealing the top 3 strategies that I use when I'm entering boom and crash, and I'm not talking about the indicator windows, right? So I'm just using what I use. I'm just showing you what I use on my main chart, right? So today's video I'm going to be talking about those 3 strategies. So watch to the end and find which strategy resonates with you, right? And these are the best that I've used so far, right? But there are some others that are quite good, but these are the best that I use, right? So first of all, we've got the easiest, so we are going to start with what maybe so like the is it the easiest? But yeah, it's so like the easiest, right? But the last one is even easier also, right? So we've got the easiest that I'm going to be talking about is the zone flips, right? So the zone flips, I'm sure by now you know what zone flips are, and if you don't know what they are, then I suggest that you squash this price action video over here, and most probably that just means that you haven't subscribed to my channel. Then I suggest that you also subscribe to my channel so that you get the hang of it, right? Because I talk about them all the time, right? So over here, what are we going to be looking for, right? So first of all, a zone flip is just a broken support or a broken resistance that the market comes back to retest, right? So over here, let's say we are in an uptrend, blah blah, or let's say we're in a downtrend because I'm using red marker, right? So we're in a downtrend, right? So the market is going on down, creating lower lows, lower high, lower low, blah blah blah, right? So lower low, lower high. That's how the market moves, right? The market doesn't just go straight like this, right? This if the market did this, then I think everyone would be a millionaire or even a billionaire by now, because you just enter and you just hold without even caring about or when to enter, right? So the market pulls back quite often, right? So that's what we want to look for, because when the market pulls back, it means that we've got a chance for us. It's another chance for us to enter, right? So over here, right, we're going to be marking these zones over here, right? So a broken support, right? This over here is our support area, right? Because it supported this pullback. It's the area where the market reacted to when it started going what pulling back over here. So we are going to be marking that area, right, and drag it to the future, right? And we're anticipating that when the market pulls back to that area again, right, it's likely going to respect it, right? But now it's acting as a resistance, and the market will keep on what pushing down, right? So that's what we just want to mark, right? And I don't want you to look at zone flips as what as a single level, right? I want you to look them as what as a zone, right? So that's just one thing that you have to be careful about, right? So look at it as a zone, because maybe it can break a little bit like this example that I've drawn, right? So I'm just going to let me just look for just one example so that I make this video quick. And if you haven't watched my video on price action or zone flips, then I suggest that you watch it. Go to my channel and check out the maybe it's called I think it's the ultimate price action strategy for beginners, right? So right over here, let's say blah blah blah, right over here, right? We mark this area over here, right? So this, what do we have here? Let me use my crochet, right? So over here, this is the last structural point where the market is creating what lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, blah blah blah. Then this is the last low, right? The lowest low that the market created before it started what reversing, right? This one is a little bit higher, right? Though it even worked, right? This was also respected, but I want you to treat this as an area, not as a strict level, right? So this whole area would be included, right? So maybe we'll mark what this box over here, maybe, right? So over here, that's what we're looking for, right? Over here, right? The market breaks past this resistance, this support area. Now it's acting what as a resistance when the market pulls back to that area, right? So what I want you to do is, what I want you to know is, if you want to know that an area is likely going to be respected or not, right, as you can see over here, right, if the area is likely not to be respected, right, the market has momentum what to keep on what keep going forward, right? So it just means that this area over here, this zone flip area that was over here, was not going to be respected, right? This zone flip was not going to be respected, because why? Why? Because the market is what is momentum, is just giving us continuously what green candles that are even getting bigger in size, which means that the market is increasing in momentum, right? Which means this zone flip area over here, because we also have a support here that gets broken, is likely going to be broken, because the market has momentum to keep on pushing forward, right? And when you see that the market starts to consolidate over here, it means that this area is likely going to be respected, right? So that's how you decipher those two, right? And then the next strategy that I like to use is supply and demand, or order blocks, whatever I like to call them, right? So most of the times, these two, the zone flips and the order blocks, work hand in hand, because we're saying that we're in a downtrend, right? So we're in a downtrend, blah blah blah, blah blah, right? Blah, right? So what it means over here is, guess what? This zone flip area wasn't respected, right? The market broke past that area, right? So now we want to look forward, maybe the last green candle, or so like a consolidation that the market created. Maybe it can create it over here, over here. There's no specific point, right? So we're going to be marking all those points, right, when the market does a little bit of a consolidation, right? So we'll be using our box too, right, to mark these areas over here. So you can draw your box somewhere like this and something like this, right? So those are the areas that we want to look at, right? So if the market still has momentum, we know that this first level is likely not going to be respected, and maybe this level over here. But most probably, if the market doesn't respect this area over here, it's coming what to the order block, right? And most of the time it's just one order block. I'm just giving it as an example of two, right? But usually it's just one order block, right? And after that order block, the market will continue will continue going down, right? So that's what we have to look for, right? So order blocks, let me just look at another example, right? Over here, this could also have acted as an order block, right? But I do not want to look for another example so that this becomes a lot simpler for you. And if you haven't watched my video on order blocks, then I suggest that you watch it. I will leave a link for all those videos in the comment section, in the description box down below. If I forget, then remind me in the comment section. So right over here, let's take this this area over here, right? So we've got this zone flip area over here, right? We've got this and this. I like to consider this as just the same area, right? So right over here, right, as you can see, the market was what increasing momentum, because this candle is even bigger, right? It's even larger than the candles that were being formed over here, right? So after zone flip is broken, right, we might look for what for the next order block. So this is the last green candle before the market what broke that structure, right? So over here we will mark this area over here, and as you can see, the market just put back to that area, and it continued going down, right? So that's just how you use order blocks, right? So this is so like an order block. Also, this is a supply area. Why? Because it's a supply or demand area. It's just an area of consolidation in a trading market. So over here, if you are going down, wherever there's a green candle, that area is a supply area, right, or a demand area. But in this case, that's a supply, because we are going we're continuously going down, right? So this is a swing flip area. Want to look for an order block. Just coming across swing flip areas over here. Well, it seems we are out of rice, so let's take this for example over here, right? This area over here, this is actually one and the same thing, because this is a zone flip area over here, but we respected what the order block, right? So this last red candle before the up move, right? So we mark that, and when the market pulls back to that area, we went we continued going up, right? So that's just it, right? So that if you want to learn more about order blocks or supply and demand, then watch those videos. Just want to rush through the next thing that we're going to be using. So I also like to use my moving averages. Why do I like to use my moving average? Well, let me think. Oh, well, because I'm a BTM trader, right? So obviously I like moving averages, right? So the first moving average that I'm going to be installing is the moving average period 50 x method exponential, apply to close, then okay, right? Then I like to use it in combination with the 200 moving average, and then I like to use purple for this one. Purple, yeah, purple is called Mangeta, right over here it's Mangeta, but check out, there are many purples. I don't even know where purple is when I'm looking at this. The last purple that I saw was too dark. I didn't want a dark purple. Yeah, this one is too dark for me, so I want to look a little bit lighter, right? So that's what I like to use. And so first of all, here, why I love moving averages is that they also show you where the trend is, right? So how do you know where the trend is when you're using moving averages? Right? So over here, when we've got a 5200 close to the downside, we know that we are just looking for selling setups, right? And if there are 5200 crosses for for a buy, for an uptrend, we are just looking for buy setups or bullish setups, right? And this is just summarized by if the moving averages are on top of the candlesticks, it means that the market is going down. And if the moving averages are below the candlesticks, it means that the market or the candlesticks are going up. The trend is going up. It's likely most of the times going up, right? So what we just have to look for over here is we're going to be entering mostly when the market pulls back to our 50 moving average. So that's when we're going to be getting our entries, right? So over here the market can also pull back to the 200 moving average, but that's a video for another day, and it takes a little bit longer to explain, right? So I just wanted to use this strategy over here, right? So you just have to wait for the market to pull back to the 50 moving average, right? And when you're using the moving averages, I suggest that you shift down to the 5-minute time frame so that you'll be able to get multiple entries, right? So let's just shift to my 5-minute time frame so that I can show you the potential of this, right? So over here, as you can see, we've got an entry 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah. Yeah, over here, all those are entries, right? That's why I wasn't getting examples for order blocks, because I wasn't using the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame is one of the best time frames to use when you're trading boom and crash, by the way, because you get multiple entries, right? So over here, that's another entry, right? Over here is an entry, here is an entry, right? So moving averages are actually the best to use. Not the best of the best, but I'm just used to moving averages, right? So right over here, 3, 4 entries without you even wanting to look for a way to draw a support area or resistance area or whatever. So it's for those lazy guys over out there, and I guess I might be one of them, but I use everything, by the way. I use price action, and I first always have a price action point of view before I do things, before I enter, right? So that's why I usually have 2 charts of the same thing, right? So I can even use this account to see my price action, then the other one for my indicators, right? So if you want to learn more about price action, then I suggest you watch this video.